for the community to see. We reached out to different community members and we asked them to come to these exhibits to encourage these kids. And that's a picture of our classroom. They had lunch every day. What we were able to do, what's the outcome of this? We had 37 student participants, 65 plus volunteers from surrounding universities, different organizations, my friends, my family members, different communities who definitely made this possible. I know without my mom and dad, a lot of this couldn't have been possible, so thanks Mom, thanks Dad, you're both out there. The community influence. We created a very positive community influence. When these kids know that people care for them, when you feel like someone's watching over you, you're definitely pushed to succeed. You're pushed to do better. The future outlook of these students, we talked to them about applications. We had ACT workshop sessions with them. We created resumes with them. We worked with them on professional skills. I'm trying to instill certain qualities in these students, leadership qualities, and qualities that are going to ensure that they're actually succeeding and working hard. Those are some activities we worked on. Those are some more pictures. And those are my sponsors and supporters. This is what I mean when I say I didn't do it alone. I'm one person, but every single person on that list contributed something very important to our program, whether they were a speaker, whether they were a presenter, whether they offered their resources, whether they gave us funding, whether they came in and they brought in food. Every single person made a difference. Well, that's the end of that presentation. But my point is, that was one program. That program helps us facilitate and lead other programs within our community. That enabled me to establish myself as someone who's able to reach out to other kids. But not only that, it enabled me to reach out to other young people to encourage them to do the same thing. And that's something that I think we need to realize how important that is. I started this off by saying that a lot of you have resources, a lot of you know a lot of people, a lot of you have a lot of money. If $2,300 can make that happen for a group of 40 Yemeni students, imagine what maybe 20,000 could do. Imagine what 50,000 could do. And this is a program that we need to, not necessarily this program, but programs like it. Something that needs to be established in Yemeni communities. But like I was saying, not just Yemeni communities. Communities throughout different neighborhoods, in socially and economically deprived areas, where there are kids. These kids are our future. If we don't build our future, there's nothing we have to look forward to. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Fattum. At this moment, we're going to open the floor for questions or any comments for the past two speakers.
Ahmad, I really enjoyed your presentation so much. I think I've been for years trying to figure out a way to convey to our Yemeni community how building wealth and entrepreneurship is really great. But what are our limitations? Thank you. I've been for years trying to figure out a way of how to present our community that tijara or business or mahal is not a bad thing. Building wealth is a very good thing. But how can we go above and beyond that? If we all agree that we have in our heritage this entrepreneurship, this curiosity, the ability to build wealth, the drive, then we have it. And I really enjoyed your presentation because you put it in a very good light. And a lot of what we're doing, micro-entrepreneurship, very limited, takes a very long time, the way you presented it, that was very, very good. And then going to the large scale. And this is something we always face. Somebody comes and says, يا أخي أنا عندي دكان دخلي حيكون كذا 200,000 في السنة. أنت حتدرس تتعلم وسنين وسنين وسنين. You're never going to make as much money as me. And I've always been comparing myself to, I have some friends. I have a friend that I'm going to write a book about in 20 years. He's been in business, no education. And I've been in education and not in business. He has a lot more money and I have a lot less money. But I have an education that you cannot, measure in money. The point is that for us to move to that next level, we really, really need an education. Take a good example, another ethnic group that also has entrepreneurship in them, the Lebanese, right? The Jews. What did the Jews do when they came to Brooklyn? They opened stores, like we have stores in Brooklyn, or we started out. What did they do? Did they just open another store? They didn't get trapped in that. They opened a store and they sent their son and daughter to college. Then their son in college got a degree and decided, Dad, we're opening a store, we're just retailers. Why can't we be the distributors? Maybe we can open the distributing, company. Then the next one got more educated, said, we don't want to be just a distributor, we're going to be also owning the manufacturer and the distributor. I said, well, we really need help, so we need to send some to law school to become lawyers, some to become politicians, some to become bankers. This is what we need to think when those who are discouraging their kids, their sons and daughters, from going to education because they don't think it's like worth it or the return on that is very low. Just imagine from Iman's presentation that what you were able to do in building 1 store, 2 stores, or if you are also in a job or you are working in a factory or something like that, what your kids can do with education, the power of education is really the key. So I would love to see you weave into that, how education can move us really into the big scale and large scale.
I don't know what to add to Nasser. I think you summarized it. But definitely, if you're going to get into entrepreneurship, high-impact entrepreneurship, it's so hard to do it without an education. It's not because we just want you to get an education, because you have to be differentiated. There's something in business and entrepreneurship, they call it the barrier to entry. So what does that mean? When you start your business, how are you going to guarantee that your Yemeni cousin is not going to come and do the same thing? What is the edge? The edge is the barrier to entry. It could be knowledge. It's scientific. 200 people might want to do exactly what you're doing and destroy your market, but they can't because you have an education. Not only Yemenis, nobody can match you because you have something that they don't have. But if you go open a store and bring products from China, everybody can bring the products from China. Everybody can get the same supplier. You have to have something that differentiates you, and you can't find that anywhere but in universities. You might get it while you're doing an associate degree. You might get it when you're doing a bachelor's, a master's, or maybe a PhD. The higher your education is, the higher your barrier to entry is, the higher your impact is, and the more rewarding your entrepreneurial journey will be. I think that's the only thing I could add. But
sorry, I'm always there in the stage for a question. I used to be in the business management, so it's for 5 years. Then it doesn't work out for me, so I want people just to get something from my experience. I used to be a honey distributor. I'm coming from Yemen. I don't have background in business. And then I started my business. I went to the stores, the Yemeni stores and Lebanese stores. Even if we have a Lebanese here, but we have to be true about our community. Then, for 4 years, distribute the honey to the business. And after 4 years, the Lebanese have his son. He's going to school, and he's working in the store. There is no problem. The Yemenis, he's just working in the store. Never been in the school. What do you have? You have his high school. Then in 4 years, Lebanese has a big building, and Yemenis has the same thing. Lebanese have master's degree and have the bachelor's degree, as Dr. Nasri mentions. Then that's one of the stories. The other one, just to probably give me the answer, I meet one of my cousins. I know him. I haven't met him. It's just he said he's my cousin. We have a barbecue. Then he's a pharmacist, and really he's a very good pharmacist. I'm a poor person. I don't have a lot of money. I'm in the media business, and I live in Detroit, and he lived in the privileged area, and he lived in a very nice house. And he said, you know what? Do you think anything to offer? I said, no. I know it's this country based in capitalism and individualism. If you're not having this country based in business, actually. You like it or not, it's a business. And I told him, do you think this is the best thing you can go? It's pharmacists. It's a lot of pharmacists. We need somebody to break the wall. We need some Yemenis to go there. It's like Obama, what he did. He changed all of the thing. We need just one Yemeni to break the wall, as you say. So I just sharing my experience in business, how I felt. When I felt my business in the honey, I went to the media business. So the felt is not just you felt. You just try it more and more and more. Thank you.
You want to answer the question, just like 2 minutes, and then we'll have a last question for you?
Okay, I'll answer it really quick. First, I'll say about the honey business. You quit too early. So you went micro. You didn't go high impact. I actually say that because I helped my brother start a honey business. Please don't take it. But we went high impact, and I mean, try competing with us. We went really high impact.
Because you want to do it.
Maybe, possibly, but we didn't go to distribution. We went into a relationship with healthcare companies and things like that. So I think you quit too early. You know, there's always another try. So that's regarding that. The other thing is definitely, I'll mention what my brother told me when I told him about, alhamdulillah, I have a job. He told me, you are selfish. If you think that, khalas, you reached this company, you're working, you have a good salary, you are selfish because anybody could sustain a family. Think about the community. Think about, something big. Don't think about yourself and your family, your kids, your cousins. If you can reach that, you should move to the next step and talk about raising the whole economy, a whole region, a whole Muslim country, or whatever. I think this is going to be the last question if it's for me. Or,
I have 2 questions for both of you. First of all, my name is Abraham Ayash from Hesham Hussain High School. I'm a 10th grader. Question for Ahmed: how do we break the status quo for the Yemenis, where the dad has a gas station, he has a restaurant, he has a liquor store, a party store? How do you break the status quo from why not have the kids open up a different business? Because it's usually the dad makes the kid work at 14, and then when he's 20, he opens up the same store, and then the cycle keeps going and going and going. How do we break that?
That's a tough question. I don't have a magic solution for it. Honestly, it's tough. I'm lucky that my dad is not into business, and he kind of gave me the freedom, honestly, so I'm kind of exploring opportunities. But I think it's, maybe we need success stories, have people talk to him. It's all, communication. If you show him the opportunities, Yemeni people are smart when it comes to business. If they see money and they see success stories, and having successful people talk with them, introduce them to people who are outside that realm, maybe they'll look into it. But it's a complex question. I honestly don't have a solution for it. Really.
Question for Fattum. You said you have that program for people in Dearborn. I'm from Hesham High School, and I'm actually recruiting kids for this woman from U of M Ann Arbor for the School of Social Work, but she's only asking for Bengali kids. And when I asked her, why aren't you asking for Yemeni kids? She says, well, I want to do a pilot program with the Bengali kids. So why don't we have something for the Yemeni kids in Hamtramck? Because we're always kind of looked over, and it's always the Bengalis, but it's never the Yemenis. Well, we want to take the Yemenis and
That's a beautiful statement, and it's very eloquently stated. And I think it's a point, it's very relevant. That's exactly what I'm trying to emphasize. We have Yemenis in Hamtramck. Why isn't someone stepping up to create a program? How many Yemeni organizations do we have in Hamtramck and in the surrounding areas? How many programs do we have where there are organizations of professionals who have at least $2,300 in cash available to them to step up and initiate a youth program, get someone who you think has potential, put them in the position to lead, and give them the guidance that's necessary to lead? Or maybe just get a group of high school students, inspire them, tell them that, one, you can either do it as a voluntary program, because these high school students need volunteer hours to get into colleges, they need voluntary experience to get scholarships, they need voluntary experience in order to excel, because if you don't have a job, that voluntary experience is what's going to distinguish you from another potential competitor for that position. If you don't want to do it as a voluntary experience, then you can do it as a paid position for interns. It's not going to kill you to pay $500 to pay someone for the summer to run a youth program at your building. It's not going to kill you to put in like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 different youth leaders to help recruit a bunch of younger students that they know, because they know young students. Everyone knows somebody. We all have family. We're Yemeni. We're well connected. We have lots of brothers and sisters and cousins. Let's get those kids into programs where we can monitor their success, where we can track them, where we can ensure that they're getting the resources that they need. I hope I answered your question.
Just to close this session, I think, I would say Mr. Ayash might start a youth program at Hesham when he graduates. So one last question, I'm sorry for this, but we need to move on, so.
I'm sorry, I pulled my AAYSP card. Actually, I said actually to try and attempt to answer the question that you raised. And the question has to do with really how do we convince the parents to keep their kids from repeating this cycle. And part of it is truly financial. And so obviously it's